Today on Drawbli, Abby is drawing?
I'm drawing, all right, and I'm only using one pen. I'm not undoing, and I'm not zooming in or out.
Click that subscribe button if you're new around here.
And comment below with ideas of what we can do to improve as artists.
And share some of your art online with the hashtag Drawbli if you got some cool stuff you want us to check out. We'd love to see some of your art.
Yes. So this was born of several thoughts. Number one being, it's late, I'm in bed, and this is just a nice way to wind down. Very relaxing and...
So no undo.
No undo.
One brush.
One brush, the brush
No
pen.
zooming.
No zooming in or out or like readjusting the angle. I just want to see what happens.
And the whole point of this is what?
Partially to relax. I find this very relaxing. As I've said in previous videos, like my happy place is just like making lines and not mapping things out. But also, so I'm hopeful that practicing this will improve my overall efficiency as an artist. When I first began using digital art, I was delighted to discover the undo button, the move things around features. They are hugely valuable.
Right.
However, I also really enjoy the one aspect of traditional where you don't have much of an option to just undo and move on. And it makes you think very carefully about each stroke and where you put every line. And I think it moves things along just a little faster. And you can more quickly identify like, oh, I shouldn't have done that. If you just have limitless, abilities to undo, that's great. I'm not saying that's a bad thing at all. It's a great thing. But this is, I'm hoping.
So this is meant to like replicate your traditional drawing experience.
Yeah, just like basically.
Specifically with a brush pen.
If you're looking over my shoulder and I'm in a sketchbook, this is what's happening. We're both in my sketchbook together and I'm just sketching.
Because the reason this came about was you were drawing with your brush pen. I was like, whoa, those look so good. And you definitely need to show off some of your most recent like little doodles that you've been doing with your brush pen because they do look awesome.
Oh,
you got some really good ones.
Thank you.
Here's one right now.
Oh man, but dang. Now I gotta go take a picture.
Your sound effects. We just need a library of Abby sound effects for like popping things up on the screen.
Anyway, so...
But I suggested that, hey, you should try just like using one brush, no undo, and you're not allowed to zoom. And that would like really help you maybe just get in that same mindset.
And this guy made it at the cafe while we were listening to an audiobook together.
And this one was so good.
I know, see? I like listening to audiobooks together.
Look at you starting with the hair. I would never do this because this just is a recipe for disaster for me where I would just mess up the proportion there and then nothing else I did on top of that would help.
I think that's why I started there because if I messed up the proportions there, then it would just look so wonky that it would hardly be worth continuing. But I didn't totally mess up the proportions. And the eyes I started with next because if you mess up the proportions there. Funnily enough, the part that I feel like I fell the most flat on was his nose. But I am historically not really like super great at noses. I think I have I don't know, there's something about them that just mystifies me.
The way you are crawling across this drawing is not something that I could ever do.
Really?
That I would even strongly recommend against it, but you are doing a very, very good job at it.
I like that, crawling across this drawing. Crawling across it.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah, you're not, it's because you're not like trying to get down the basic proportions first, or I don't know. It's not how I would do it.
No, yeah, it's definitely a lot of ping-ponging my eyes back and forth to the reference, and everything is about creating like a version of the shape or the angle that I see in any given spot. But yeah, it's really easy. If you're off by even a small degree in one area, it can lead to huge discrepancies in other areas. So it's definitely not a process that I would recommend as hey, here's how you can feel good about your art really fast. This is just, I've done this kind of thing for a long time as a way to relax. And so mine sometimes look, not awful.
No, not awful
at least
at all.
recognizable.
Not even slightly awful. And you've gotten really good at hair as well with this kind of technique.
Thank you. I like his curly hair.
Awesome.
I like
Yeah.
this model reference. He's so like suave, but also he's got like I don't know. He looks very fancy.
Are you trying to say you want me to grow a beard?
I was gonna say curl your hair and have it all be gray and silver.
Okay, yeah, I'll work on that. That might take a year or two to grow out, but sure.
When I was young, there was one of the dads at my one of the dads we knew, and he had the most silver hair I'd ever seen in my life. Like it
and
looked
an awakening happened inside of Abby.
No, I just always suspected that he dyed his hair silver.
Oh, very likely. Yeah.
Well, I don't know. At one point, I should have asked. Briefly, I dated his son when I was young, in my teens. And
couldn't have the father.
Oh, gross. Stop, weirdo. Apparently, I couldn't have any of them, I guess. We're not together anymore. Anyway, as many teenage relationships go. Anyway, I remember I meant to ask him, does your dad dye your hair? No, his hair.
Does your father dye your head, Jimothy? I assume his name was Jimothy.
Absolutely, it was Jimothy. Jimothy Jones Bartholomew.
Wow, what a name.
This one, I do a little bit of undoing because I'm like, okay, I'm so warmed up. Now I want to combine the elements of like having these really efficient brush strokes and getting a good sketch done right away with also giving myself the liberty to undo.
This right here makes a lot more sense where you're, outlining the whole everything.
Yeah.
This is how I would do it. This feels a lot closer to how you should do it.
It's a way, but actually I don't really take this one very far. Maybe I was just a little bit
This one's awesome.
tired out for the night and was just done for the day.
No, this one's really cool.
Where did I do this one? I don't remember. I can't remember if I did this
you were
at
erasing.
the coffee shop. Yeah, that's what I said. For this one, I do start erasing a little bit, just to see if that is the barrier between me and like really excellent work.
And was it?
Well, I just didn't spend as long on this, but maybe if I'd spent longer on it.
Okay. I do really like this one. I love the face, love the expression.
Yeah, I do like
nice.
this expression in this face a lot. I think it's really fun.
How many portraits have you done here with this idea and this technique?
Well, the first 3 were the only ones that were true to that technique of no zooming in, no undos. You can see here I'm zooming in, I'm undoing a little bit, but still, I feel like it's created a more efficient, quicker workflow of getting a better drawing that I like on the paper faster.
Mm-hmm.
And then I do one more after this that I actually add a little bit of color and shading to in purple. So stay tuned because it's kind of cute, but it's also very fast. These are all sketches. We're in my sketchbook. We're not in my portraiture portfolio.
How long did you spend on each of these, you think?
Oh, I have no idea. Not more than an hour on any of them.
Okay, that's cool. I like that because normally you do spend a little longer on these.
Yeah.
I typically spend 1 to 2 hours on the things that I make here.
Yeah.
Obviously, for my last video, I made 5 things.
Your last video had over 6 hours of footage that we condensed to 10 minutes.
Yeah, and that's because I had 5 portraits in
Yeah.
it. So each one was 1 to 2 hours.
Ah, see, I have 5 portraits, but they were not 1 to 2 hours. They were well under that.
Well
under that, yes.
I don't know. Have I seen this finished one? I don't think I have. I remember seeing that last one when you had made it. It was really cool.
I don't know if I have shown you this one.
So do you erase with this one as well?
I think I do, and I try to do a little bit of the shading and maybe even a little bit of sort of the rub out technique, just a little, but not too far. I don't spend.
So you just try to add some shading to it.
Just having fun, just sketching.
Just having fun. I'm just having fun with my art.
Yeah, isn't that what we're here to do in the end? At the end of the day.
No, art is not about fun, Abby. Art is about pain and suffering.
It's about pain and suffering and wanting to make it in this town.
We're trying to make it.
In this town.
Which town is that?
Tinseltown.
Tinseltown. Wait, what?
Tinseltown.
I'm sorry,
yes.
what?
Well, it was just Tinseltown.
Okay. Well, I like your purple.
Thank you. I do too. Purple is one of my favorite colors.
I like your shading that you've got going on here.
Oh, so cute.
And your highlights. Very nice. Is this a watercolor brush?
Maybe.
It had some canvas texture on it as well.
Yeah, maybe. I
know.
messed with the levels in Photoshop to get it a little brighter here.
It is maybe a little brighter.
A little brighter.
It looks good.
Thank you.
I love the expression here. I love all of these. These are so cool.
My favorite, honestly, is the first one I did, her hand on her shoulder.
It's really fun.
I just I love how like quivery it is. And
Yeah.
the fingers are so bony looking. And there's something about that I just really like.
Yeah, I like that a
Yeah.
lot. You did a really good job on all of these. I am very impressed. And for all those that are also impressed, you should click that subscribe button.
And comment below with ideas of what we can do to improve. And share your art online using the hashtag Drawbli because we want to see it.
And this is the part where we say
Goodbye.
Goomba. Abby, when did you get so good at drawing?
I was born that way. I'm on the right track, baby. I was born this way. Oh, no. I was on the
Slow
right track.
fade out the audio here.
I don't know how to do that, and I have to edit this.
Oh.
Hard cut.